Hello friends, today we shall discuss a poem which is very closely related to our life. In our life, we all face some situation where we have to make choices between two things. It is difficult because that choice can shape our future life, and also when we choose one thing we have to leave another, so it is a very difficult thing. In the poem that we are going to read, we find the speaker of the poem also faces a similar kind of situation where he has two alternatives and he has to choose one between these two choices. So he has to make a choice. The title of the poem is The Road Not Taken. It is written by one of the most celebrated American poets, Robert Frost. The Road Not Taken is a very well known poem, and at the same time, it is one of the most misunderstood American poems or misunderstood poems of the world. Robert Frost was famous for his deceptively simple poetry. Deceptively simple means his poems are not at all simple, but his poems appears to be simple because Robert Frost has written poetry in a very simple conversational language, and his poetry are always related to our daily life. For these two reasons, his poems appear simple, but most of the time there are multiple meanings, and that creates some kind of ambiguity, we can call it. Ambiguity. Ambiguity means ambiguity means where the meaning is less clear. The meaning is not clear. There are no one interpretation, no one meaning. And that is also true for the poem The Road Not Taken. In many books, you may find that the poem is about how to make choice, how to make right choice in life, and how a choice can, a decision can shape your life. And some critics, some scholars also believe that this poem is about a celebration, about a praise of individualism. That means how original is your choice, how different is your choice from others. But when we go through the poem and read the line closely, we will find that this is not true. There are more meanings in the poem. So, first, if we look at the poem, we will find that there are four stanzas, and in each stanza there are five lines. So I have planned to discuss the poem in two videos. In the first video, I shall discuss the first two stanza and the first two lines of the third stanza. I have taken these two lines because the sentence which begins from here is completed in this line. So I will discuss the first two stanza and the first two lines of the third stanza. So first read the first stanza. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So here we find the speaker in a forest in autumn when the leaves of the trees has turned yellow, and he has come to a fork of a road. To a fork of a road means where the road had separated into two roads. So the poet or the speaker has arrived at this point, and now before him there are two roads, and he has to choose one road among them. So two roads diverged. Diverged means to split off in different direction. That means the fork in the road. In a YOLO wood, YOLO suggests that the season is autumn. And in autumn season, in the country like America, the trees become almost bare because it is the season of falling leaves. The leaves fall in this season, and before that they turn yellow. And sorry, I could not travel both. So the very important word here is sorry. So in the very beginning we find a kind of sadness in the speaker that he could not travel both the roads. That is the difficulty. You could not take two things. You have to make a decision. You have to make a choice. And so the speaker is sorry. And that sadness continues through the whole poem. And that is why I have told at the beginning that this poem is not a celebration of making choice. This poem is not a praise of making individual choice. There are more meaning in the poem. So the speaker is sorry that he could not travel both. That means both of the roads. And be one traveler. That means he is a single man, one traveler. Long I stood. Long I stood means the speaker has become perplexed. The speaker has become perplexed. He cannot make his mind. He is not sure which road will be good for him. And look down one as far as I could. And so the speaker has tried his best to look as far as possible the two roads. But here we also find that this is also not possible, because to where it bent in the undergrowth, because the road is windy. The road has bent some distance away. Where? In the undergrowth. Here undergrowth means a very dense bushy growth of bushes, shrubs and other plants. In generally under the big trees. So the road cannot be seen for a long distance. So the speaker has to make a decision seeing the small distance in the road. Now the second stanza, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had owned them really about the same. So in the second stanza we will find that the speaker has made the choice. Then took the other. That means he has taken the other road, which as just as fair. Here fair means beautiful. So look at this phrase, as just as fair. That means the first road which he rejects is as beautiful as the second road which he has chosen. So it is very clear here that the two roads are equally beautiful. Okay, the two roads are equally beautiful and having perhaps the better claim. That means the poet or the speaker believes it the second road that he has chosen has a better claim. And in the next line, he explains the reason why he thinks so. Because it was grassy and wanted wear. It was grassy means it was covered with grass, and that suggests that it is less discovered. Okay, and wanted wear. Here wanted means lacked. Wear means it is not trodden by the travelers. Comparatively less people have walked on that road. So here the speaker has chosen the less discovered, somethingly more obscure, unknown road. Okay, so it suggests that the speaker has individuality. Or he has non-conformity. What is the meaning of it? Meaning of this line is that the speaker wants to be original in the way of his life. He does not want to copy others, and so he chooses the way which appears to him less traveled. For this reason, some teachers or some critics believe that this poem celebrates this kind of individualism, this kind of originality, but that is not right. Though as far that the passing there, that means walking on this road. Passing there means walking or traveling. There means through this road which he has chosen. Had owned them really about the same. So here the sentence begins with though. That means some kind of doubt is now creeping in the speaker mind. Walking some distance through the less discovered road which appears to him less discovered, what does he find? He finds that had owned them means both the road, really about the same. So walking through this road, now the poet or the speaker is realizing that this road is equally owned like the first road. So basically there is no difference between the two roads. Okay, so now in the third stanza, and both that morning equally lay. That morning means the morning in which the speaker came to the fork of the road. Both that morning equally lay. So now here again he emphasizes the equal nature, the same quality of these roads. In leaves no step had trodden black. So now the speaker is remembering that on that morning both the roads were covered with leaves. Both the road with covered with leaves, and no step had trodden black. No step means here, step means footsteps of human beings. Okay, footsteps of human being had trodden black. Trodden means to crush something with footsteps. So now the speaker is realizing that at that morning both the roads were actually the same. So we have read the first 12 lines. In these 12 lines, we have found that the speaker is trying to remember an incident of his past life. So the whole poem is actually happening in the mind of the speaker. He is remembering a past incident. At that time, the road he has chosen appeared to him less traveled. But now he has realizing that actually both the roads are same. So the poem does not celebrate individuality or non-conformity. because now the speaker is realizing that his choice or the road he has taken is no different from the first road. Actually, here in this poem, the road is actually a metaphor. What is a metaphor? Metaphor is a figure of speech or a technique of speech where we compare two things without clearly stating. Okay. For example, we say that camel is a sip of desert. So when we say it, we compare camel with a sip and the desert with a sea. Okay, so the comparison is not stated clearly, but we can understand it. In the same way, here the road is a metaphor for our life. Okay, and the two roads, where the one road is diverged, is the many choices in our life. But there are many choices, but we do not know where the choices will take us. We have to take risks in our life. We make decision not clearly knowing what is waiting for us in future. Even when we believe that we know that this is right for me, after a few years or after many years, we realize that we were wrong in the past. So the same thing is now happening to the speaker of the poem. So in the next video, I shall discuss the rest of the poem and also discuss the main idea of the poem again. And I also request you to read the poem 2 or 3 times and also try to think about the title. The title is about the road not taken. So the emphasis is on not taken, not on the road on which he has traveled. So here is some kind of sadness in the mind of the speaker. So he is thinking now about the road which he has not taken. The poem is about the road which he may have traveled and he can change his life. Okay, so I am ending here today and I shall discuss the rest of the poem in the next video. Thank you for watching.